Hello, everyone. This is Facts and Two Cents. We are back, and I'm Pamela.
And I'm Petal.
Great, awesome. Anyway, so we are a show just, strictly made for the Sussexes. Like we always say, we are here for the Duchess of Sussex, the Duke of Sussex, King Archie, and Lady. So Prince and Princess of Montecito, Archie and Lilibet, that's her name, Lilibet, Lily Diana, Doria, Queen Mother Doria, Pula, Guy, and all the chickens. That's who we are here for. So, like we said, we always say, listen, we are biased and we are petty, very petty, and don't come for us unless we send for you. That's just the fact. There was a lot going on, which we're going to touch on. I definitely read Naomi Osaka's
her article from the Times.
Article in the Times, and it was really, really amazing. Like I was so transformed into what she was saying and where she is, and just hearing other athletes and reached out to her, influential people who've reached out to her, which I think is so amazing. What was your take on Naomi Osaka?
Well, the funny thing is, when this whole thing started, when she had put out the tweet that she's not going to be doing press conferences during the French Open, I was like, yeah. So I didn't know, the background of what was going on with her specifically. I didn't need it because one, I've always hated those things. I've always hated because I've seen some of them and they've been so antagonistic, and I've never thought those things were beneficial to anyone.
Right.
It definitely was not beneficial to me as a viewer, watching it, because some of the questions like the reporters would ask the players were so stupid. Some of them did not even see the match that they would refer to them by different names. They didn't see the match, so they would ask. I mean, I've seen somewhere, you know what I mean? I felt like if I was sitting in Serena or Venus's shoe, I'd probably take my shoes off and throw it at one of them. Because you
might have woken up with violence this morning.
Totally. Because, it's just, especially in, say Wimbledon, it's like they have these attitudes that it's almost like they're better than the players.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why I've always hated, those. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's so devaluing, right?
Yeah.
It's so devaluing. And the mindset for me is that these reporters feel like the players owe them.
Yes.
And it's that mentality. And I think it's been there for a while where the players felt before social media, all these players felt like, to get their message out, they need the reporters, and which is true. Listen, going to journalism school and becoming a reporter is not a joke, right? It takes a lot of work, and you have to, really polish your craft and be good at it. So it's not to take away from the really legit, journalists who want to get information out, and by so doing, these athletes are able to also spread their wings and go to other businesses, like own other businesses, right? So it's all intertwined. And my point is, I think that has made the reporters feel like you can't make it without us.
Exactly.
There's this subliminal mindset that we make you, right?
Exactly.
And so what we want, you have to succumb to those things. And then social media just meanders its way in. It's like, no, buddy. The devil is a liar. You don't own us, right? But It's also a captivating mindset for these athletes that they're so used to. They just go in and they take it, right? And some of them will give back, Venus and Serena will say something back, but not to the point to saying we're not going to show up. We're taking a mental break. We need that. So it was revolutionary for me. I applaud her, but it's good to see that the media can equally be held accountable, in that shape and in that sense, whereby, no, my life doesn't belong to you, right? This is a job. This is my talent. Venus said it best. Like what I do, you can do.
Right. You never be better.
You never better than me.
I love Venus.
She does her walk off. I'm like on the film. I'm like, I'm not God. Hello. talk to God. But I think it was really it's hard to see when they'll tell you, so so you didn't play well at all, you didn't do this at all, like, do you think your failure is like such, like, where is the common sense of being tactful? Like, these are not politicians that even politicians, you want to be a little bit respectful. These are athletes, and some of them are really young. Like, do you even consider that before you just go into like the jugular? It's, come on.
And a lot of times too, really all the time, these players just came out of a mentally draining match.
2-3 hours sometimes.
Need, and especially if you just lost. Exactly. You don't need someone who's never played the game, who will never be in a competition that you just came out of, will never be in that situation, coming to analyze you.
Yes, they're not eating bums and it's just like, well, there's nothing wrong with eating bums. Eat all you want. But my point is,
it's like you just don't need that nonsense, And I think one of the things that they're saying, which I understand, is like, with the contract, the tournaments, for example, whether it's Roland Garros or Wimbledon or wherever, they have a deal with the media. You know what I mean? And so part of that deal is that the players, because that's a lot of the funding comes from the television outlets paying to broadcast the tennis match. So a lot of their funding comes from television or whatever other media sources there are, newspapers, whatever. So they have that thing where players, the trade-off is that the players do interviews with them. And it's like Naomi was saying, they've got to find a different way of doing this than having some poor player just come off of a match and having to sit in front of a ton of these people, ignorant people, sometimes racist, sometimes just completely just arrogant and nasty, and then coming to question you. And it's just like, how is that beneficial for the players? Because then you think of, you look at Naomi Osaka, what just happened to her at Roland Garros. They basically bullied her.
Exactly.
And then teamed up with, Wimbledon, US Open, and the Australian Open to bully her.
Shame on them for doing that. That was like so disgraceful.
To ban her from the
and yet they're all for mental wellness, which is like such hypocrites. Hypocritical.
I know.
Such hypocrites. And one of the things,
the WTA. Why?
Exactly. Why didn't they say anything?
I'm so angry at them.
What she said in her, and what Naomi was saying in her article was that it wasn't that she didn't want to speak to the press. She even mentioned an example. It's like, when you're even at your job, you have sick days. Hey, in tech companies, you have mental wellness day. You take days off just for your mental wellness, right? You just want to take a day off just to reset. And if somebody is feeling like, and if someone take a day off from their job, the HR is not saying, hey, come back to work, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, no, they need, the sick day, they take a day off. So why can't these players take a day off from their press,
obligations? Exactly.
Obligations? They should be able to. If she feels like, maybe make it official. You have every tournament, rather, you have 2 days off. That you don't feel like you want to deal with the press. You just want to go into your hotel room and just eat a cup of ice cream, or just sleep, or whatever the case may be, because that makes you be in a better position to deal with the next game or to talk to the next press. And she's actually really good with the press. She has
a great relationship
with the press, which is why I'm surprised why you guys don't understand when she says, she's crying for help. Like, which part don't you, And
that's the thing too. It's what she was saying that in that article as well, is the fact that they didn't believe her.
Yeah.
And then she felt forced to have to expose her mental health to the world. But, so and again, it goes back to the fact is, when white women say things, people believe them. When black and women of color say things, people are like, everybody's like, well, you know what I mean? You feel like you have to expose your whole life for people to take notice, and then you have to reveal every every single thing for
You
someone
have
to
to go the
possibly
extra
believe
mile.
you.
Yeah, you have to go the extra mile to
To,
divulge
for people to
everything for
believe you.
people to believe you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
if
And
a white person says it, everybody drops everything. And like, oh my gosh, and you want to know the weird thing about it? Because they fined Naomi because the 2 matches she played, she did not do press conference. So they fined her, what, $10,000 each, whatever.
Yeah, right.
When she withdrew, the president of Roland Garros, the president of the French Open, had like a press conference, whatever. He came out and make a statement and then refused to take questions from the reporters. He refused. So he is finding Naomi
for
not taking questions from reporters.
And he's doing the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, how hypocritical is that? Yeah. They want her to sit there and in the hot seat, but yet he refuses. Exactly. The same people that find her refuse to sit there in the hot seat and take questions from reporters.
Shame on you. You guys.
And for me too, I mean, one of the big things that was surprising to me, and maybe she just didn't mention all the tennis players who supported her. Yes. But even while it was happening, I remember tweeting out about the lack of support from.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. There was you saw that, but I didn't. You're right. There wasn't well, let's just assume they were behind closed doors, right?
Which is what I'm saying. Maybe she just didn't mention, but she mentioned Novak Djokovic, which is very surprising that he was he's one of the bad boys in tennis.
Novak is like, he is very open. He's very vocal, like he's a good example because he reacts on the court like nobody's business and gets away. Kudos to listen. I love Novak, but he will go in with the emperor, whatever the name they're called, and he never gets banned. He's very, very passionate. But you're right. He's one of the bad boys.
He's one of the bad boys, and it's weird. It's like, but it was a pleasant surprise to see that he's one of the people that she lauded and that supported her. And also, not surprised at all.
I'm sure Serena supported her because she has a good relationship with Serena and Venus. They probably did it on the back end because,
of course,
who knows? I'm sure I have to believe that such a sportsmanship that the community came together and some of them didn't want their names to be out there for one reason or the other.
For contractual reasons, they don't want the public going after them. That's understandable. Understandable. Yeah.
So Michael Phelps spoke out, reached out to, and said
he has definitely gone through a lot of stuff with his mental health. So
he knows exactly what's going on. So
of course.
And he even said that listen, if anything, if what she said, if it helped one person, what she did help one person,
saved somebody's life. Yeah,
saved somebody's life. So. But
I'm not surprised.
Drum rolls. Oh wait, before drum rolls, another drum roll for Michelle Obama, who also reached out to her because that's
Michelle
one of our girls. So anyway, so Michelle, called her. What is that? Anyways, and then drum roll, the Duchess of Sussex, Queen of Montecito. No, Queen of the World. What am I saying?
I know.
Queen of the Globe, honey. She called.
It's not surprising though because Naomi was on there.
Naomi was on her podcast, on their podcast.
Podcast. So I wasn't surprised at all. I actually expected Meghan to be one of the people, Meghan and Harry to be one of the people that are in there encouraging her and being on her quarter. So I'm not surprised at all.
But you know what?
Just so nice.
Even if she has she not been on that podcast, I can still see Meghan still trying to reach out to her.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? Totally. It's like that's something that she would so easily do.
And I'm sure, Naomi, even in this, she's like, I don't know, everything I need to know about mental health and I'm not learning. But I get the sense that she saw a piece, The Me You Can't See. She saw that and that. I would guarantee you she saw that.
Yeah.
And really started learning.
Yeah.
About and being able to stand up and you know what, this wasn't the perfect way to do things maybe when she how she put it out. I don't know, and even she
but who's to say what is the perfect way?
Exactly.
What is the perfect way? It's like, come on, everybody's trying to live life and do the best they can. This and and in such
Exactly.
a in that athlete, that's in that sense. And it's like, what did we want her to do? Write a formal letter and reach out to them instead of a formal email? They would say no. The answer still would have been no. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and so I mean,
So
listen,
she did the best she could, and
yeah,
there are lessons to be learned. And she's like, "Look, I'm learning,"
obviously,
and that's
yeah, obviously, yeah,
maybe next time, now now that it's out there, they can come together and see
yeah,
how better they. And again, she's not, say let's cancel reporters or
no,
anything. She's
no,
like,
she's
no,
not,
she's like,
no,
there are things. This isn't working.
yeah,
Well, let's fix this so that
yeah,
way not only we can benefit, the reporters can benefit, but in a mutual
exactly,
way of mutual respect, and we're
yeah,
respecting each other's spaces, and is respecting, like if I'm just not in a mental space to talk to you, can we do this another time, maybe one-on-one, instead of having to sit in front of a group of 10 or 15 reporters who,
yeah.
that
But
is
then,
just not beneficial.
and in addition to that, it's just to recap a little bit when I made reference to the HR. It's not like if you take a day off from work, your HR, your boss is not supposed to ask you what are you taking the day off for. You're entitled to the
Exactly.
day, and I don't owe anyone an explanation as long as I'm entitled to take a day off to go to a doctor. I can't tell you I'm going to see a doctor because I have X, Y, and Z. That's wrong. It's
Invasion
against
of
the
privacy,
provision
and
of
they
privacy.
basically invaded her privacy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
So she said, and I think what she suggested makes really good sense. These athletes are there, and if we are playing from the beginning to the tournament to the end, and you like Serena, every match she's being interviewed every match. That's exhausting. Now Serena
yeah,
has a thicker skin, and she probably could just take it because she's been doing this longer. But even that, she's still human, and she will probably appreciate a day that after the match she can go and play with her daughter and just chill out instead of just coming to sit down with the press and answer the same questions. They're not creative at all. These
no,
press
they're
school,
not.
they
And I
ask the
think,
same questions over and over and over again. What do you think about this? What could you have? I was like, okay, whatever, brain dead.
yeah. And I think too, you have to look at the tournaments too. It's like, just in the way how Naomi Osaka was #1 player in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how you treat her. You bully
Wait,
her.
no, but are you surprised?
It is not.
Serena was number player of the world for several years. Look at how badly they treated her.
Yeah, and
So
that's
it's
what I'm
like,
saying. It's just like those tournaments. It's just about money. As
yeah,
long as they get their money, they do not care about the people that are in the. They
no,
don't care
absolutely
about
not.
their well-being.
Absolutely
And
not.
so
They
they
don't.
have the thing. Well, look, you're being paid all this money, so you should. And it's like they have
But she's
no
working
care
for the
in the
money.
world.
It's not free. She's using her talent as her job, and she's getting paid. It's not like she just showed up and just giving her money. So if she's
Exactly.
getting paid for it, it's because she's putting in the work.
She's
She's doing
working
something.
for it.
So what's your
Exactly.
point? What's your
So that's
point?
where I think, they. I mean, I don't know what their relationship is with the WTA, but I would really have some serious dialogue. Like, I
Yeah,
would be surprised if the female players didn't come together and be like, "Look, what you guys did was." I wouldn't
yeah.
want somebody like that representing me. I mean,
Well, they still. I don't know
you know,
if they changed. Remember, Serena was the first person to really argue the maternity thing with the WTA when she had Olympia, and they changed her, and she was number 1 at that point, and they took that ranking away from her till like this was I had a baby, so taking that ranking away from me. It's like so I can't
right?
have a child. That whole thing. I don't know if that changed, but that was tough. It's been tough for her to get back to the number 1 because they deranked her pretty much, to like number 500 and something. And I was like, are you serious? She's been number 1 for several years, and so you're pretty much blaming her
For
and
being pregnant,
faulting
yeah.
her for having a baby and bringing another human being to the world. That's wrong.
Hi.
And I just wanted to add a little bit of this to talk about this a little bit. And this is nothing to do with royal, but when Michael Phelps called uh, Naomi, it occurred to me. I don't know if you read about Shakari Robinson.
Oh, the
She's
girl, the
the
runner,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I just loved her, and I'm tying that into mental wellness, right? It's just a little bit, just because she, again, a reporter right? Right before she was going to the race to run, I believe, a reporter told her mom had died. Her biological mom had died. She didn't know. She went and ran the race and she won. After that, I think she took it. Did she take it before or after? I don't know. Either way, she took marijuana, which is legal in Colorado where she is. Um, and now this, she obviously can't go to the Olympics, for her race that she's so good. She destroys that race. She's just exceptionally good. And so she has to wait till another, 4 years? I don't know how many years you have to wait for the Olympics, which is so sad. And Michael Phelps was being referenced because he was also banned when he did something during his time. And he was saying, like, listen, guys, don't bring me into it. This is somebody's mental wellness. They need to deal with it. Leave her alone to work through it. You know what I mean? And we are so eager as a people to just tear people down. These athletes, the amount of hours they put in things to work, the training they go to, most of us cannot even dream about or imagine. We will give up in a minute. But they're dedicated to their job. They give it all. Yes, and they're human beings. They're humans. They struggle. So imagine someone telling you your mom has died, and then you're 21. How do you expect someone who's 21 to react? Now, I'm not fully excusing her. That there's still wrong from right from wrong, and she made a mistake. I personally think this law needs to be reviewed because here we are. We have a lot of Black people in jail for marijuana, but here are Republicans, some rich people, white people who want to make money off of CBD, right?
They are making money.
They are making money.
John Boehner, who was the Republican leader,
who was against it, and
he
got
is
still
like
a lot of
president
people.
of some company that a marijuana company. I mean,
Yep.
they have figured out a way to monetize it, so all of a sudden it's now legal.
It's not.
And there are Black people sitting in jail for marijuana.
Exactly. Anyways, I just wanted to say that because I love my Shakira Robinson. If you guys can, if you know her, just pray for her and just keep her encouraged because she's something special.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, folks, for joining us on this episode. We're so happy you joined. Again, don't forget to subscribe and check the notification bell and share the video, comment, and until next time, toodaloo. Bye.